My child, if your eyes are resting on these words right now, understand this clearly and without doubt. This is not chance, not timing, not coincidence, not curiosity. Out of millions of hearts beating on this earth at this very moment, I called you by name, and something inside you paused long enough to listen. You did not arrive here by accident. I drew you here gently, quietly, deliberately. Even before you realized it, your spirit recognized my voice. That pull you felt, that hesitation before scrolling away, that sudden stillness inside you, that was me. I have been waiting for this moment with you. Only those I will save are allowed to see this. These words are not passing through open space hoping to land somewhere useful. They are targeted, intentional, written with your name already spoken over them. Heaven marked you long before this moment, long before today, long before your questions, your failures, your doubts, and your weariness. You may not understand why you were chosen to hear this now, but understand this truth. What I am about to reveal is weighty, and it carries the power to change the direction of your life if you do not turn away. Many will never hear what you are hearing. Many will scroll past what you stopped for. You stopped because your soul knows it is being addressed. Do not scroll away. Do not tell yourself you will return later. I did not interrupt your life for nothing. I did not break through your routine, your distraction, your noise, just to speak empty words. This message carries your name. Not symbolically, not poetically. Personally, I know where you are right now. I know what you are carrying. I know what you are afraid to admit even to yourself. Ignoring what I am about to reveal would not be harmless curiosity lost. It would cost you clarity, peace, and a door I have opened specifically for you. I am not threatening you. I am warning you because I love you. Some moments do not repeat in the same way twice. You were handpicked, not because you are perfect, not because you always believed strongly, not because you never doubted, but because you were willing to keep breathing, keep hoping, keep getting back up even when you felt empty. I did not choose you because you had everything together. I chose you because you did not quit. There were moments you were close to giving up entirely, moments you felt unseen, unheard, overlooked, and misunderstood. Yet here you are. That is not an accident. That is evidence that my hand has been holding you even when you thought you were holding yourself together alone. Stay with me now. Stay with me not just with your eyes, but with your attention, with your heart, with that quiet place inside you that has been longing for reassurance. What I reveal next was hidden from many, not because they were unworthy, but because they were unwilling to be still long enough to hear. You slowed down. You listened. That already tells me something about you. You are not as far gone as you think. You are not as lost as you fear. You are not late in the way you have been telling yourself. My child, I know you have been asking questions you never say out loud. You have wondered why things have taken so long, why doors closed when you prayed for them to open, why you felt held back while others moved forward. You have questioned whether you missed your moment, whether you misunderstood my voice, whether you made one wrong decision that ruined everything. Hear me clearly now. I have not forgotten you. I have not overlooked you. I have not replaced you. I have been preparing you quietly, often painfully, but always purposefully. There is a reason you are sensitive. There is a reason you feel deeply. There is a reason ordinary noise exhausts you, and shallow answers no longer satisfy you. I have been separating you without you even realizing it. pulling you closer, teaching you to listen beneath the surface, strengthening discernment in you that you will need very soon. The discomfort you felt was not rejection, it was alignment. A delay you resented was not punishment, it was protection. You are reading this because I am about to shift something. Not everything at once, not in chaos, not in fear, but with clarity. I need your attention because what comes next requires trust. Not blind trust, but grounded trust. The kind that chooses to listen even when emotions are tired. The kind that stays present instead of escaping into distraction. You have been numbing yourself lately, even subtly, just to get through the days. I see it, and I do not condemn you for it. I am calling you out of it. This moment matters more than you realize. Not because these words are dramatic, but because timing is precise. You are standing at a quiet intersection. The world around you does not look dramatic enough to warn you, but your spirit already feels the weight of change coming. That restlessness you feel, that sense that something is about to happen, that feeling that you cannot stay the same, that is accurate. I am doing something new, and before I do, I speak. You do not need to be afraid of what I am about to reveal. I am not here to expose you to shame. I am here to pull you out of confusion. I am not here to overwhelm you. I am here to steady you. But you must stay. You must listen without filtering everything through fear. Let my voice be the loudest one you hear right now. Right, amen. Lord, I receive your peace if you're opening up to His presence now. I chose this moment because you were ready enough. Not fully healed. Not fully confident. Not fully strong. Ready enough to listen. Ready enough to receive. Ready enough to stop running from the quiet truth inside you. You are not here by chance, my child. You are here because I called you, and you answered before you even realized you had said yes. My child, listen to me now with your whole heart. I want you to understand something clearly before anything else settles into your spirit. You were not randomly chosen to hear this. This moment did not form by accident, and your presence here was not created by curiosity or chance. Long before your days took shape, long before your questions, your wounds, your waiting, this moment was already written. I knew the exact second your eyes would meet these words. I knew the condition of your heart when you would arrive. I knew what you would be carrying silently, what you would be hoping no one noticed, and what you would be afraid to admit even to yourself. Nothing about this is sudden to me. It was scheduled with intention. There are countless voices speaking in the world right now, countless messages competing for attention, countless distractions designed to keep hearts restless and minds full. Yet out of all of that noise, I interrupted your path gently but firmly. I slowed you down without force. I caught your attention without fear. I placed this moment directly in your path because I desire to speak to you personally. Many were not stopped. Many passed by. Many were too occupied, too hurried, too guarded, too numb to feel the invitation. But you paused. You listened. That pause was not weakness. It was responsiveness. And responsiveness is something I treasure deeply. You may think you found this message, but the truth is I found you. I have been watching over your steps far longer than you realize. There were moments when you should have been pulled away by despair, moments when confusion could have swallowed you, moments when the weight you carried could have broken you completely. Yet something always held you back from falling too far. That was not luck. That was not resilience alone. That was unseen protection. I was guiding you even when you could not feel my hand. I was redirecting you even when you thought you were wandering. I was guarding your spirit when you did not know how to guard it yourself. There were paths you always took that would have dimmed your light. There were decisions that seemed harmless but would have slowly drained your strength. I blocked some things without explanation. I delayed others without apology. I allowed certain doors to close even when you prayed for them to remain open. You questioned me in those moments. You wondered if I was silent or distant. But I was not absent. I was careful. I was protecting something sacred within you that needed time to grow without interference. I was protecting you for this very season. Understand this, my child. Many were bypassed so you could hear this. Not because you are greater, not because you are better, not because you earned special favor, but because you were willing to remain soft in a world that rewards hardness. You were willing to feel when others chose to numb themselves. You were willing to question deeply instead of pretending everything was fine. You were willing to keep seeking even when answers did not come quickly. That willingness matters to me. It opens space for truth. It creates room for intimacy. It allows me to speak without force. I am not speaking to you now to elevate you above others. I am speaking to draw you closer. Sacred moments are not about status. They are about nearness. This moment is intimate, not exclusive in pride, but exclusive in purpose. It is not for everyone because not everyone is ready to receive it. But you are here because something in you was ready enough. Not perfected, not finished. Ready enough to listen without running away. Ready enough to stay present instead of escaping. There is urgency in my voice, but it is not rushed. It is the urgency of love that sees what is coming and wants you prepared. It is the urgency of a shepherd who sees a shift in the terrain and calls the sheep closer, not to frighten them, but to guide them safely forward. I am not alarming you. I am awakening you. There is a difference. Fear scatters. Awakening gathers. And I am gathering your attention now because what lies ahead requires clarity, not confusion. You have felt this interruption in subtle ways already. A restlessness that does not go away. A sense that you cannot continue the same way much longer. A quiet knowing that something is about to change, even if you cannot name it yet. That is not anxiety. That is awareness. Your spirit hath been sensing what your mind could not yet explain. I allowed that feeling to rise gently so you would not be startled when I spoke. I prepared you inwardly before addressing you outwardly. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness into your life and encourage your devotion to God. If you would like to support us, you can donate through Super Thanks. This moment is not about overwhelming you with information. It is about aligning you with truth. There are seasons when I comfort, and there are seasons when I clarify. Right now I am clarifying. I am helping you see that your life has not been drifting. It has been guided, even through confusion. You have not been forgotten in the waiting. You have been refined. You have not been delayed without purpose. You have been shielded. My child, I know you have compared yourself to others. You have watched people move ahead while you felt paused. You have wondered why their lives seemed to unfold more easily while yours felt slow and heavy. You questioned whether you did something wrong, whether you misunderstood me, whether you were being left behind. Hear me now. I did not slow you down to punish you. I slowed you down to protect you from becoming someone you were never meant to be. I kept you back because the path ahead requires depth, and depth cannot be rushed. The interruption you are experiencing now is part of that same care. I am interrupting patterns that no longer serve you. I am interrupting thoughts that have quietly limited you. I am interrupting cycles that kept repeating because you did not yet see them clearly. This interruption is not an obstacle. It is an invitation. It is me stepping into your awareness and saying, "Look again. Listen closely. Something new is beginning." I speak to you with intimacy because I know you. I know how you respond to gentleness. I know how force would cause you to withdraw. I know how fear would shut you down. So I speak with firmness wrapped in care, truth wrapped in compassion. I am not demanding your attention. I am inviting your trust. I am not pulling you by fear. I am drawing you by love. Do not dismiss the weight you feel in this moment. Do not brush it off as emotion or imagination. Sacred moments often arrive quietly, without spectacle, but they carry depth that lingers. If you feel a stillness settling in you, if you feel your thoughts slowing, if you feel your heart becoming more attentive, that is my presence creating space. I am not here to rush you past yourself. I am here to meet you where you truly are. You were chosen to hear this, because I want to speak to you before the next step unfolds. I do not want you walking forward confused about your worth, your direction, or your place in my care. I want you grounded. I want you assured. I want you to know that nothing ahead is accidental. Just as this moment was prepared, so is what follows. Remain with me. Let this truth settle deeply. You are seen, you are guided, you are protected, and you are here on purpose. This interruption is not a break in your life's flow. It is a redirection toward what has always been meant for you. My child, come closer and listen without guarding your heart for a moment. I want to speak to the places in you that no one else ever saw. The places you learned to hide because explaining them felt too heavy, too complicated, or too exhausting. I saw you in those late nights when the world went quiet and your thoughts grew louder. I saw you staring into the darkness, replaying conversations, decisions, losses, and what-ifs that would not let your mind rest. I saw you lie awake when your body was tired but your heart refused to sleep, when you felt surrounded by silence yet crowded by worry. You thought no one noticed those hours, but I was there, closer than your breath, listening to every unspoken cry. I saw the tears you wiped away quickly, the ones you never posted, never mentioned, never let fall in front of anyone. The tears that came without warning, triggered by something small because the weight had been building for so long. I saw the way you learned to cry quietly so you would not disturb anyone, so you would not have to explain yourself, so you could keep being the strong one. I saw how you mastered the art of pulling yourself together just enough to function, just enough to show up, just enough to survive another day. You thought strength meant silence, but I saw how much courage it took simply to keep going. I heard the prayers you whispered when words felt pointless, the ones that started strong and ended in exhaustion, the ones where you said my name and then fell silent because you did not even know what to ask for anymore. I heard the prayers that sounded more like sighs than sentences. I heard the questions you were afraid to say out loud, the moments when you wondered if I was listening at all, if I still cared, if you had done something wrong to deserve the silence. I did not turn away from those prayers. I leaned in closer. Silence did not mean absence. It meant I was holding you while you learned how to breathe through the pain. I saw you pretending to be okay when you were not. I saw the practiced smile, the calm voice, the careful words you used to avoid worrying others. I saw how you carried everyone else's expectations while setting your own needs aside. You became dependable because it was easier than admitting you were tired. You became helpful because it felt safer than asking for help. You became quiet about your struggles because you did not want to be a burden. But my child, you were never a burden to me. Not once. Not ever. I saw you show up on days when you wanted to disappear. I saw you fulfill responsibilities when your heart felt empty. I saw you keep promises while your own soul felt neglected. I saw you hold yourself together in public and fall apart only when you were alone. I saw the way you questioned your worth during those moments, the way you wondered if your pain mattered since no one seemed to notice. I want you to hear this clearly now. Your pain mattered to me. It still does. Nothing about your suffering was invisible. There were moments you reached your breaking point and thought, this is it. I cannot do this anymore. You felt stretched beyond what you believed you could endure. Yet somehow, you woke up the next day. You took another breath. You took another step. That was not because you were strong on your own. That was because I was covering you when your strength ran out. Survival itself was not accidental. It was evidence that I was sustaining you in ways you could not see. I saw the disappointment settle in your chest when answers did not come, when prayers felt unanswered, when hope felt risky. I saw how you lowered your expectations to protect yourself from further pain. I saw you stop asking for certain things because the waiting hurt too much. I saw you tell yourself you were fine with less, even when your heart still longed for more. I never mistook your silence for indifference. I knew it was self-protection. I knew it was fatigue. I knew it was grief layered over time. Comment, I trust the unseen hand of God if you're following Him without fear. I saw you wrestle with doubt and guilt at the same time. Doubt because you wondered if I was really there, and guilt because you felt bad for wondering. You judged yourself hardly for feeling weak, for feeling confused, for feeling tired of believing. But I was never disappointed in you for those moments. I was patient with you. I was gentle with you. I do not measure faith the way humans do. I see the heart behind it. And even when your faith felt small, it was still reaching toward me. I saw the moments you tried to distract yourself from the pain. The scrolling, the staying busy, the noise you used to avoid being alone with your thoughts. I did not condemn you for that either. I understood that you were trying to survive. I understood that rest felt dangerous because silence brought feelings you did not know how to carry. Even then, I stayed near. I waited. I watched. I protected you from collapsing completely when everything inside you felt fragile. There were times you felt overlooked, forgotten, replaceable. Times when it seemed like others were chosen, celebrated, supported, while you remained unseen. You wondered if your quiet faith mattered, if your unseen endurance counted for anything. My child, I saw every unseen moment. I saw every quiet choice to keep going. I saw every time you chose not to give up even when no one would have blamed you if you had. Heaven does not overlook what the world ignores. I was there in the rooms where no one else entered. I was there when you sat alone with your thoughts. I was there when memories surfaced that you thought you had buried. I was there when you felt misunderstood and tired of explaining yourself. I was there when you felt pressure to be strong for everyone else while secretly wishing someone would be strong for you. I did not miss a single moment. I did not look away from a single tear. You did not imagine the weight you carried. You did not exaggerate your pain. You were not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You were human, and you were hurting, and I was with you through all of it. The fact that you are here now, still listening, still breathing, still searching for truth, is proof that my covering never left you. There were storms meant to break you that did not succeed. There were nights meant to consume you that passed. There were moments when despair knocked loudly, and yet you are still standing. That is not coincidence. That is grace. I want you to release the belief that you were unseen. I want you to let go of the lie that your pain went unnoticed. I want you to stop minimizing what you endured just because you endured it quietly. Quiet suffering is not small suffering. Hidden tears are not lighter tears. And silent endurance is not invisible to me. I am not impressed by performance. I am moved by honesty. And I have been moved by you more times than you realize. You do not have to prove anything to me. You do not have to explain yourself. You do not have to justify your exhaustion. I know. I saw. I was there. And I am still here now, not to remind you of pain, but to reassure you that you were never alone in it. The same presence that carried you through those unseen nights is with you now, steady, attentive, and ready to lead you forward with gentleness. Rest in this truth, my child. Nothing you went through was unseen, nothing you felt was ignored, and nothing you survived was by accident. You are still here because I covered you when you could not cover yourself. And I will continue to see you, hold you, and walk with you into what comes next. My child, I want to speak to a question you have carried quietly, even if you never shaped it into words. You have wondered why others who once walked beside you fell away. You remember how some began with fire, with confidence, with certainty. They spoke boldly, dreamed loudly, promised much. You thought they would surely last. Yet over time, they grew tired, distracted, bitter, or numb. Some turned back. Some hardened. Some stopped believing altogether. And you, tired and uncertain as you were, somehow remained. You did not always feel strong. In fact, many days you felt the opposite. Yet here you are. Let me tell you why. Many began the journey loving the idea of the destination, but few were prepared for the weight of waiting. Waiting stretches the soul in ways that action never does. It bothers motive. It reveals what is rooted deeply and what is only surface-level enthusiasm. Waiting feels unfair when effort has already been given. It feels confusing when promises take longer than expected. And for many, that weight became unbearable. They did not fall because they were evil or weak. They fell because they did not know how to sit with uncertainty without letting it poison their hearts. You felt that same weight. You felt the same questions rise in you. You felt the same temptation to let go, to stop hoping, to stop expecting anything more. There were days when belief felt heavy instead of uplifting. Days when faith felt more like effort than joy. You are not different because you never struggled. You are different because something in you refused to completely let go, even when everything in you felt tired. I saw the moments you wanted to quit believing. I saw the days you questioned whether holding on was worth it. I saw the nights when you whispered, "I don't know how much longer I can do this." Yet even then, you did not walk away entirely. Sometimes you held on with hope. Sometimes you held on with habit. Sometimes you held on with nothing more than a quiet thought that said, "What if I'm wrong to give up?" That small thread of willingness mattered more than you know. Others let go because they needed certainty before trust. They needed answers before obedience. They needed visible progress before patience. When those things did not come, disappointment turned into distance. They told themselves it was maturity, wisdom, realism. But often it was simply weariness they did not know how to carry. Waiting on covered expectations they did not know they had. When those expectations were unmet, they blamed the path instead of examining the weight they were placing on it. You, my child, learned to carry disappointment without letting it define you. Not perfectly, not without pain, but you carried it honestly. You cried, you questioned, you doubted, and still you returned. You did not pretend waiting was easy. You did not pretend you were fine. You brought your exhaustion with you instead of using it as an excuse to leave. That is why you are still here. There were times your faith felt thin. Times it felt more like survival than belief. But faith is not measured by how strong it feels. It is measured by where it turns when strength runs out. And even when you were exhausted, you still turned toward me, even if only slightly, even if only with a sigh, even if only by not fully walking away. That turning mattered. That direction mattered. You saw others move on, and sometimes you wondered if they were wiser for it. You wondered if you were foolish for staying when it hurt. You questioned whether endurance was courage or stubbornness. Let me tell you the truth now. Your exhaustion was not failure. It was evidence of endurance. You did not collapse because you were weak. You were tired because you were carrying something heavy for a long time. There is a difference. Endurance is rarely loud. It does not announce itself. It does not look impressive while it is happening. Endurance looks like getting up again when nothing feels resolved. It looks like continuing without applause. It looks like choosing not to harden your heart even when disappointment would have been easier. Endurance looks like you. Others fell away because they equated rest with retreat. They did not know how to pause without abandoning the journey entirely. They thought stepping back meant freedom. But for some, it did. For others, it only delayed healing they still needed. You learned, slowly and painfully, how to rest without quitting. You learned how to slow down without turning back. You learned how to breathe without abandoning hope altogether. I know you sometimes feel embarrassed by your tiredness. You judge yourself for not being more confident, more joyful, more consistent. But I do not see your tiredness as weakness. I see it as the cost of staying. I see it as proof that you have been carrying weight for a long time without dropping it. And I am not disappointed in you for that. I am attentive to you. There were moments when you envied those who left. They seemed lighter, freer, less burdened. But you did not see what they lost when they walked away. You did not see the questions that followed them. You did not see the restlessness that replaced the struggle. You did not see the quiet ache that comes from disconnecting from something sacred without resolving it. Staying was not easier. It was deeper. You remained because somewhere deep inside you, even when you were confused, you knew walking away would not bring peace. You sensed that abandoning the journey would cost you something you could not afford to lose. You did not always know what you were staying for. Sometimes you stayed simply because leaving felt wrong. That intuition was not random. It was my spirit quietly anchoring you when your mind felt unsure. I want you to stop interpreting your survival as mere stubbornness. You are not here because you lacked options. You are here because you chose, again and again, not to fully disconnect. Even when your faith was fragile, it was still oriented toward me. Even when you were unsure, you did not close your heart completely. That openness is rare, and it is precious. Others needed constant reassurance to keep going. They needed immediate results to validate their effort. When those did not come, discouragement took root. You learned to live without constant reassurance. You learned to walk without immediate reward. That does not mean you enjoyed it. It means you endured it. And endurance changes a person in ways comfort never does. I know you feel worn down. I know you sometimes worry that waiting has taken too much from you. But hear me now, waiting has also given you something. It has given you depth. It has given you compassion. It has given you discernment. It has given you a quieter strength that does not depend on excitement. It has given you roots that go deeper than circumstances. You did not remain because you were stronger than others. You remained because you were honest enough to admit when you were weak and still stay. You remained because you allowed yourself to feel disappointment without letting it turn into bitterness. You remained because you kept your heart open, even when it hurt to do so. I am not asking you to glorify your exhaustion. I am asking you to see it truthfully. It is not evidence that you failed. It is evidence that you stayed longer than many could. And now, I want you to know this. I see you differently than you see yourself. Where you see weariness, I see faithfulness. Where you see delay, I see preparation. Where you see survival, I see quiet courage. You are still here not by accident, not by stubbornness alone, not by blind loyalty. You are still here because something in you trusted me enough to not walk away completely, even when answers were slow, even when hope felt heavy, even when belief felt thinned. That something is alive in you still, and it is stronger than you think. Rest now in this truth, my child. You did not fail because you grew tired. You endured. That endurance is not going to notice. Type Jesus, be glorified in my life if you want him at the center of everything. And share this video.